Siman Samach Tes Nal Gula, Be'ezras Hashem. Ve'amrinim b'Gemara. This is a continuation of the subject of the bracha of minim that we talked about in the last two simonim. The bracha of la hamalshinim al tisikva v'chol minim karegir yivedu. So he says, we say in the Gemara story. The Gemara says, brachas daf chavtes, ta b'chol brachas ein ma'ali noisoi. That if the chazan is davening for the amud and he makes a mistake somewhere, he forgets where he's holding because they didn't have a siddur in those days. So ein ma'ali noisoi. We don't take him out. The chazan used to stand low down, so ma'alin means to bring him up, literally, to bring him up from his position. We don't take him away because of the fact that he made a mistake. We say, okay, he made a mistake. He's human. But ta b'birkas haminim, if he made a mistake in birkas haminim, means he forgot where he was holding and he didn't say it. He said, oy melech oy tzedakah mishpat, and he sits there quiet for a few minutes and he can't remember the next bracha. Ma'ali noisai. We take him out. Why? Chayshinan shema minhu. We're afraid he might be a heretic. Okay? We're afraid he might be a heretic, and therefore we take him out. And the Gemara says a story there about Shmuel HaKatan. We're going to get to it in a minute, but let's first see the kasha now. The Hiksha Rebbeinu Yoina on Brachas asks, Amai loy amru shim tov v'lo hizkir tchias hamesim shemali noisei gamkein. But why don't we say, let's say the chazan forgot tchias hamesim. Why aren't we suspecting him of not believing in tchias hamesim? And that's why he doesn't want to say it. What's the difference? Believing in Tchias Hamesim is also part of the fundamentals, the Animamids. Ein Sham, Shatiritz, and the Rebbeinu Yoina answers, Mipnei, Shabirkas Haminim, Hi Klala Laminim. The bracha of Minim is a curse towards the Minim. It's not just a statement of belief. When a person doesn't want to say it, we say maybe because he's a heretic himself, he doesn't want to curse himself. If he made a mistake by tchias hamesim, he didn't remember that bracha, there's no curse there. There's no way to tell that he's a min. Why? Because the pshat is like this: even if he really did disagree or whatever, disbelieve in tchias hamesim, he wouldn't have a problem saying it. People don't have a problem saying something they don't believe in just to fit in. That happens all the time, right? People say stuff just to look like they blend into the environment. He wants to be a Jew like everybody else, so he says tchias hamesim. So the fact that he didn't say tchias hamesim, it's not because he was a heretic; it's just because he forgot. Mashenkin, by the minim, it's much worse because you're saying v'chol minim karega yavedu. That's something that he wouldn't say. Okay. By the way, interesting Gemara in Pesachim. It's totally nothing to do with this, but it's interesting because the Gemara in Pesachim says, Hallel. The Gemara is a Shaila, Kufyud Zayin, Kufyud Ches, somewhere around there. Who wrote Hallel? So one opinion says that it was said by Klal Yisrael in the time of Yetzias Mitzrayim, and one opinion says that it was David HaMelech, and there's a few other opinions there. So it's interesting. The Gemara says, why can't it be David HaMelech that wrote Hallel? Because in David's time there was the Pesel Micha. There was a story about Micha who had an idol and he set it up and they put it in Shevet Dan and people were worshipping it. So it says in Hallel, it's Atzabeim Kesev V'Zav Ma'aseh Yedei Adam Pelohem V'Lo Yiru, right? They have eyes, they can't see, and then it ends off saying Kemohem Yiyoy Sehem Kol Asher Boteach Bohem. Like them shall be those who believe in them, right? So he says, the Gemara says there, David HaMelech would not want to curse the people in his time who believed in Pesel Micha. So he wouldn't have made up that capital Tehillim then. So it must be it was older. That's how the Gemara says. So it's mashma from the Gemara. People didn't want to curse people of their time who did avoid Zarah. Very interesting. Anyway, so over here it's saying a min wouldn't want to curse the minim. Okay. Now, v'oidav shaloimar. It could also be. So this is the Rebbe talking. In other words, Rebbeinu Yoina's answer was the min wouldn't want to curse himself, so that's why he wouldn't say it. But the Rebbe says, I have a different teretz. Oyef Shalaimar al pi pashtus. A simple answer. Tihinei sham begemara amrinan. The Birkas Aminim tiken Shmuel HaKatan. Who wrote Birkas Aminim? A Tana whose name was Shmuel HaKatan. He wasn't very small. I just called him that for anivus, but he was a great person. Okay, Ulashana Acheres Shachcha. 1 year after he made it up, he forgot it. V'hikshu b'gemara, and he was davening for the Amid. In other words, he was davening and he came to that place and he forgot it. V'hikshu b'gemara, my loy silkuhu. Why didn't they take him away from being the chazan? V'ha'amarav Yehuda Marav Ta b'Birkas Aminim ma'ali moistoi. The din is that if someone made a mistake in Birkas Aminim, you take him away. Chayshin and Shem Aminu, because we're afraid he might be a heretic. So maybe Shmuel HaKatan himself was a heretic. So the Gemara answers, Mishani, Shani Shmuel HaKatan Tehu Tikna. He was the one who wrote the bracha, so he's not a heretic. Parach b'Gemara Dilma Hadarbe. The Gemara still says maybe not. Maybe he changed his mind and became a heretic. Ella, the Gemara says no. Rather, the teretz is Shani Shmuel HaKatan de Aschelbe. That the case was he started it. Means he was davening and he said hamalshinim al tisikva v'chol aminim, and he got stuck. But he didn't get stuck before he started. He got stuck in the middle. Pirish Rashi, he started saying it. He made a mistake in the middle. You see, he's not a heretic. He just made a mistake. He forgot the words. So the Rebbe says it's a kasha. What happened to the din of cheskes kashrus? Cheskes kashrus means you leave someone, you assume they didn't change. If they were good before, you assume they stayed good. Every yid has a cheskes kashrus. But kol shekain in a case where he used to be good, right? Befrat Shmuel HaKatan shahai gadol b'doiroi. He wasn't stam a yid. He was the greatest of his generation. Kamash kasav sham Maseches Soita daf mem chesed beis yatsa bas kol min hashamayim. The voice came down from Shemayim. There's a person among you who deserves that he should have the Shekhinah on him. He should be a prophet. His generation is not worthy of it. And they said that's Shmuel HaKatan. So Shmuel HaKatan was a very great person. Also, he made the bracha up. So how could you be choishes that he changed? One time he forgot it. The Gemara wants to fire him already from being a chazan. The Dilma Minhu, maybe he's just a heretic. I mean, the Gemara is asking, Dilma Minhu. The Dilma Hadar, maybe he changed his mind. How could that be? The Chiyesh b'metzias cheskes kashrus adifa mizu. Is there a better assumption than this, that he's going to stay good because he made up Birkas Aminim? Why? It's like let's say the Satmar rebbe would become a Zionist, right? it's the most far thing from your imagination. How could such a thing happen, right? It's more likely to say that he forgot it. By the way, there's a funny story. The Satmar rebbe once said to you think I'm making it up, that he said to one of his chassidim, "What would you do if I became a Zionist?" So the chassid thought for a minute. He said, if the Rebbe would be a Zionist, I would also be a Zionist. So the Satmar Rebbe yelled at him and said, no! You do what's right. You don't care what your Rebbe does. Then you find a different Rebbe. That's what he said. Anyway, so he says, they should rather say, no, it was forgetting. That's more common. The people forget. And to assume he didn't change. You always say that you leave things as they are. You leave people as they you assume that they didn't change. Okay, so here's his teretz. V'nir lahasbir de birkas aminim ikol amecha shafilu b'mishi yesh lo cheskes kashrus dilma alidei rakus levavoy umachmas mezeg tivoy. That he's saying like this: it's not that the person himself changed and became a heretic. It's that he changed in his personality, that he doesn't want to curse the heretics. That's the problem. Shmuel HaKatan was Taka Shmuel HaKatan. He was the greatest person. But maybe he felt a little softness towards the heretic movement, and he felt like, I don't want to curse them this time. That's the problem. Because of the softness of his heart, umachmas mezeg tivoy, and the personality, haraka, his soft personality, hu malamed schus al aminim. He was going to try to defend them a little bit and say, they're not so bad as we think they are. Ve'ena right to the kalalam, and he doesn't want to curse them. Kamash kosted b'sefer hakadosh or ho'emes miksav yad kodshay shel rav hakadosh miberditchev schusi yagen aleinu. From Rebbe Yitzchak from Berditchev, it says asher rasham liatzmoi divrei kodesh sheshanu mipi rabbi amagid hakadosh mimezrich schusi yagen aleinu. He heard from the Magid certain divrei Torah. He wrote them down, and this came down to us in the Sefer Ora Hoemes. V'toichin dvar v'lefarish ha'pasuk oiz ve'soira yahalu rasha v'shoimrei nafsho yisgaru b'am. It says in the pasuk in Mishlei, those who leave the Torah will praise the wicked, and those who keep the Torah will fight the wicked. So that's the pashtus, the simple pshat. But he explains the bam at the end of the pasuk doesn't go on the wicked; it goes on the first type of oiz ve'torah. In other words, there's oiz ve'torah who are really from Jews, but they praise the wicked, and then the shomrei Torah are the ones who fight against those from Jews. That's what he says. Yeshnom tzadikim shemekayim kol haTorah. There are some tzadikim who keep the whole Torah v'amitzvos, avol einam mochichim la'acherim, but they don't rebuke other people. V'afal pi shegam zu mitzvos haTorah hoicheach tochiach. Even though that's also one of the mitzvahs, they don't do that mitzvah. Mitzad rakus levavam. The reason is because they have a soft heart. Umizgam atoiv, and they have a very soft personality, a good personality. They have good-heartedness. Einam roim choiv harashaim. They can't see anything bad about the Rishaim. Umahapchim b'schusam. They try to figure out ways to defend them. To say, they weren't so bad. Even Herzl and Ben-Gurion, even they have a spark of holiness in them, and they're good. Deep down inside, they're good, right? These people are considered leaving the Torah. Because their actions cause people to leave the Torah. Why? They say that the Rabbanan are quiet, they don't speak up against the heretics. It must be that they agree to them. Many people make the mistake and think this is the way of the Torah. They come to follow the Rishaim. But there are other tzaddikim who know, they fight against the Rishaim, tooth and nail. And they come out in public. And they say against the people who do the wickedness. Those people are called the keepers of the Torah. They put a guard around the Torah and they make sure people don't stray. Those who leave the Torah are the ones who praise the wicked, even though they themselves are from. They try to defend them. By the way, this is Rebbe Yitzchak from Berditchev writing this. People always say stories about him that he defended the wicked. He defended the wicked to Hashem, but not to people. That's the Rebbe's point. So, in front of people, he spoke bad about the wicked. He says, but these people are mahapkin b'schusay. They try to publicly say good things about the Rishaim. These people are called the leavers, those who abandon, leave the Torah. Hagam shetzadikim hema, even though they themselves are tzadikim. V'shoimrei Torah yisgaru bam. Those who keep the Torah fight against them. They fight against those from Jews who praise the wicked. Yeah? Yisgaru moichichim es ha'oiz ve'Torah. They say, you also come over to our side and protest against the wicked. To fight against those who the enemies of Hashem. Those are the words of Rebbe Yitzchak from the Magid. Okay? Interesting, the Gra, the biggest of the Misnagdim, went with the same shot. The Biura al Mishlei, in his commentary on Mishlei, al Pasuk Hanal Ayin Sham. So you have the Chasidim and the Misnagdim being mechavan to the same shot. So now getting back to Birkas Haminim, when someone makes a mistake, even Shmuel HaKatan, even a big tzaddik, we take him out. Why do we take him out? Even if we know he was always good. He's a believer, he's a Yirei Shamayim, he's a good Jew. It's because he doesn't want to curse the wicked. Why? Because he has a way of defending them and says, they're not so bad. He can't see how bad they are. Even it's because of his heart that's soft, and his personality that's his good-naturedness, such a person should not be the chazan. To fulfill the obligation of the public. We take him out. We are afraid that he might have some heretical leanings. Even a very small leaning is poigemus. It's a bad thing. It ruins his tefillah. And it causes Jews to stray after minas. Other people will come to learn from him. Now, so getting back to the ben-gurion's kasha, ben-gurion said by Tchias HaMesim, if someone didn't want to say Tchias HaMesim, why don't we fire him from being a chazan? So he says the difference is like this. That's why they made the difference, because Tchias HaMesim, we're talking about from Jews here. No one's going to skip Tchias HaMesim on purpose. They didn't say it, it's because they forgot it. Birkas Haminim, a from Jew who believes, might still not want to say Birkas Haminim. If they were so machmir on this, and we have to curse them, kol shekain that we shouldn't come and defend them and try to cover up for their sins or try to judge them favorably. And by the way, the reason why this whole simon belongs here, what does this have to do with the previous two simonim? Because if you learn like that other Rav that the Rebbe quoted, whoever he is, who wanted to say Birkas Haminim is only about doing tshuva, so then this whole vort wouldn't make any sense, because nobody would have any problem with davening they should do tshuva. No from Jew, even if he's a soft-hearted person and he loves to defend people, he wouldn't have a problem getting up and saying, all the minim, mehera, yeshuva, b'tshuva, shleima, l'fonecha. He wouldn't have a problem with that. But now that the Rebbe established in Samach Zayin, Samach Ches, that the bracha is about yovedu, it's about dying, it's a very harsh bracha. So not everybody would want to say that, and that's what he means over here, that maybe the person has a soft heart.